Gentleman's game here. I have this super vivid memory from college. It was probably one of my most embarrassing moments, something I look back on and cringe at pretty hard. I was a freshman at the time, and it was like the second week of the semester or something like that. Walking into my economics lecture, I sit down, then immediately notice this super cute girl sitting across from me. Let's just say she was quite distracting whenever I tried taking notes, totally my type. I remember looking over at her and saw she happened to catch my gaze. We held eye contact for a split second, and to my surprise, she smiled back at me. Wow, she smiled at me. I had to say something to her, I thought. She wasn't sitting too far away where she couldn't hear me, so all I would have had to do was open my mouth and say something. She'd occasionally look at my direction, then subtly kind of look away. It was pretty clear to me now that she was open to talking to me. I'm gonna do it now, I thought to myself. 30 seconds passed by and I just couldn't muster up the courage to do so. Come on, all you have to do is say what's up and be chill. I opened my mouth to say something, but I just couldn't. The anxiety was gnawing away at me for some reason. All these weird random insecurities would pop in my head, and I just all of a sudden felt really nervous, my stomach all in a knot. Damn, I want to say something to her so bad, but I don't know why I just can't. I'm just too nervous. I decided to not say anything and just try focusing on the lesson for the remainder of the class, feeling embarrassed and defeated. Fast forward a week later in class, I once again sit in the same spot across from her, and again, I caught her looking in my direction from time to time. She'd smile and even position her body towards me. I was sure this time I'd finally say something. I scoured my mind for the perfect witty one-liner to say. But, lo and behold, 2 minutes later the butterflies in my stomach felt like knots. My heart started beating faster. The anxiety, the nervousness was at it once again. What if I say something stupid or she rejects me in front of everyone, I think. We make eye contact again, and she smiles, but I quickly look away and don't say anything. That was the second time I wussed out of talking to her, essentially ignoring her. After class, I knew this couldn't happen again. I made a deal with myself that night that no matter what, the next time I saw her, I was gonna introduce myself. I even promised my roommate that if I didn't, I'd have to give him 50 bucks. A few days later, I bump into the same girl again at our school library. Damn, she looks good, I thought, looking at her slender legs. After a split second, I finally worked up to nerve to say something. Hey, I'm the gentleman's game. I think you're in my economics class. She looked up, immediately recognized me, and gave me a faint smile and said, "Oh, hey, I'm Sophia," and then turned around and walked away, kinda uncomfortably. I was left there just kinda confused and embarrassed about the whole thing. A few years later, I eventually found out from one of her friends that she did think I was cute the first day she saw me and actually wanted me to talk to her. But after I seemed to ignore her twice when she gave me signs, she took it as a message that I simply wasn't interested, or worse yet, rude. So even when I finally did get the courage to approach her, she had already made up her mind about me, that I wasn't into her, and even if I wasn't man enough to let her know. Having much more life experience now, whenever I think back to that whole ordeal, I immediately cringe and think, wow, it was so obvious that she was into me at the time. What the hell was wrong with me? Why didn't I make a move? Why was I so nervous? And the truth is, most guys can probably relate to my story. The feeling of anxiety, of nervousness, that just leaves you paralyzed whenever you try saying hi to a cute girl. So for that reason, I'm gonna share with you guys a huge tip to get out of your head and talk to girls even if you're feeling nervous. But first, I want to give a shout out to the sponsor of today's video, NordVPN. Not exactly the sexiest topic to bring up, but with everything going on in the world today regarding hacking, leaked information and stuff like that, VPNs are as important as ever. And if you're not sure what a VPN does exactly, basically think of it as a protective tunnel that your Wi-Fi goes through before connecting to the internet. This way, your real IP address gets changed and your online traffic is snoop-proof, so the VPN server becomes a secure platform you can use to access certain websites. It protects your privacy and encrypts your connection when you're browsing online, so your internet service provider can't spy on you or know exactly what you're doing and then sell this information to advertisers or other third parties. NordVPN has over 5,000 servers in 61 different countries around the world, and they're always adding more. So whether you're doing work at a Tokyo airport or at a random coffee shop in Spain, your data will always be safe. NordVPN was selected as the best VPN for 2019 by VPN Mentor and was named best VPN for general users in 2019 by PC Mag. So if you're interested in trying out the service for yourself, go to www.nordvpn.com/gentlemangame or use coupon code gentlemangame for 70% off the service plus an additional month for free. That's only $3.50 a month, which is about the price of a small coffee, and with a 30-day money-back guarantee, I think it's a great deal for having peace of mind knowing your data is always being protected. Okay, now back to the video. So the first thing you need to realize whenever you feel nervous talking to a girl is the concept of right action. And what this means is this: when you hesitate to open her, there is cognitive dissonance happening in your brain. Meaning, on one hand, there is what you know you should be doing, the right action to take, and then on the other hand, there are all these emotions you're feeling. The anxiety, the fear, the excuses you tell yourself, all acting to hold you back. Even to this day, for example, I'll admit sometimes I can still feel a bit nervous right before approaching a hot girl, but what I immediately do when this happens is to separate the fear from the action I know I have to take, and to always be moving towards the right action regardless of all these scary thoughts going through my mind. And to be honest, this is just a general life philosophy that I have, to always try doing the thing I know I should be even though I really don't want to. Like, for example, whenever I wake up after I brush my teeth and wash my face, I'll jump in an ice cold shower. I never want to do it. I always have a feeling of dread, knowing that the second I step into the ice water, it'll be the most uncomfortable experience in the world, until my body adapts. But I know it's the right action to take, and so I do it anyways. And even though it is painful for a few seconds, eventually it's not that bad. And then after a few more seconds, it actually feels thrilling, like you can feel every pore on your skin activating and revitalized. And almost every time I step out of my morning cold shower, I feel almost invincible, alert and full of energy, ready to tackle the day. I never regret doing a cold shower, just like I never regret talking to a girl, even though I may feel nervous right before. So now the question is, how do you always choose to commit to the right action instead of falling victim to your negative emotions? And the short answer is to kill the root. Meaning, before you even have time to feel nervous, just force yourself to do it anyways. Here's what I mean. When you see an attractive girl you want to say hi to, the next few seconds are critical, because with each second of an action that passes by, more and more negative thoughts are going to keep entering your head. The moment you hesitate from doing the right action, you've already started a cycle of, oh, she's cute, but she probably has a boyfriend. Oh, she probably wouldn't even like me. Oh, I'm not dressed well today. Oh, maybe I should just keep walking and pretend I don't see her. And again, the longer you wait, the harder it becomes. You've chosen to stay in your head, psyching yourself out instead of just doing it. So kill the root before it even happens. Don't want to jump in the cold shower? Boom, jump in anyways. Don't want to talk to that cute girl? Boom, do the right action and say hi anyways. Don't even give yourself time to indulge in those nervous thoughts, because let's be real, the more time you spend thinking, man, should I approach? The less likely it is of happening. So just don't even let yourself indulge in those thoughts. Just literally do it. Honestly, a lot of it is willpower. A year ago when I started my cold shower routine, I tried my best to jump in right away, to take the right action, only to hesitate because of that feeling of dread and nervousness. But after a few weeks of practice, I eventually cultivated my willpower to the point where I could just take the right action and kill the root of my negative mental loop. It just takes practice of constantly forcing yourself into unfamiliar and uncomfortable territory. After more and more exposure of talking to girls when you really don't feel like, it eventually won't seem like a big deal, just another conversation. The reason I use the cold shower analogy is that it's similar to approaching girls in that during those first few seconds of forcing yourself to take the right action, it's gonna feel really bad and uncomfortable. Those first awkward 15 seconds after saying hi to a random cute girl can be super painful. Believe me, I know, I've been there. But take my word that, again, with practice, you'll gain the ability to plow through and carry a great conversation despite those initial jitters. Those thoughts you might get of, oh, now I feel like I'm bothering her, oh, this is so awkward, or whatever else negative thoughts goes through your head. So here's something you can do to practice this. The next time you really don't want to do something, anything that you know you should be doing, whether it's waking up early at 7 a.m. or going to the gym for a hard workout session, immediately kill the root of those negative emotions. Stop thinking and simply take the right action. Once you start programming your brain to take the right action, even when you feel anxious or nervous, then it'll be easy talking to a cute girl, even when you're feeling nervous. Eventually, this will be a habit, and even though you'll probably still feel nervous seeing a beautiful girl you want to meet, it won't be a big deal and you'll be able to act regardless. That's it for the video, and to summarize, today we talked about a quick mental exercise you can use to approach girls when you're feeling nervous, which is short-circuiting those negative emotions by immediately taking the right action. This is something you can carry over to pretty much every other aspect of life, and the more you practice forcing yourself to get out of your head and take the right action, the more success you'll have with girls. As always, make sure to sign up below for my free 5-page PDF about the fundamentals of attraction, and feel free to follow me on Instagram. Next video will be the next installment of the Art of Seduction series, so make sure to like and subscribe, and as always, Peace.